name's Andrew, and I've struggled with obesity for most of my life. I had an abusive upbringing and often used food as a coping mechanism. I met my wife in the 90s while living at uni in Sydney. She remembers me as being fun, the life of the party, singing, playing guitar and joking around. At the time, I was a very social person. Years went by, we travelled and returned to Sydney when we found out my dad had become seriously ill. He died after a battle with leukemia, and that was about 15 years ago. Sadly, my family of origin imploded, and this affected me deeply. I started to put on weight. About a year later, my wife gave birth to our son. I was so happy to become a father. In spite of this, I fell into depression due to the relationship I had with my family. I started putting on a lot more weight. My anxiety increased. I worked in a high-pressure job in the financial services industry. This added to my anxiety. I believe I needed to succeed to provide for my family. I started to become reclusive and antisocial. I put on even more weight and became withdrawn. I missed a close friend's wedding. I made an excuse for why I couldn't go and missed many other important family events and always had a reason. I was asked to be the best man at another friend's wedding and I had to decline. I was hiding from my friends even though I really needed them. My life had become very small, and as a result, so had the life of my rapidly growing son. I was scared about what was happening to me. I worked very hard to lose weight through daily exercise and various diets. I did have some success, unfortunately not for long. I put a great deal of pressure on myself to succeed. I had every reason to lose weight and improve my health. My son and my wife, even my dad, would have wanted that for me too. The whole diet and exercise, weight loss and weight gain loop was happening, and I was very tired. Mental and physical fatigue was setting in. It took me years to understand. The equation was more than just exercise and a healthy diet. I realised I needed another angle on this. Finally, I sought help. I decided to be honest with myself and others. Through the support of my wife and some friends, I became more positive and open to addressing my issues. I had a crumpled referral letter to a metabolic clinic that had been in the glove box of my car for over 6 months. Finally, I gave them a call. I received support at the clinic from some wonderfully enlightened staff. They didn't treat me like an idiot or a failure. I started working on my physical health issues. I knew this was only part of the answer. I then found a psychologist to help deal with trauma from my childhood. Addressing my mental health is a crucial part of my recovery. Now advocating for mental health and supporting people suffering from obesity is a passion of mine. My personality has changed. My wife has said I've become more light-hearted, like I had been in the past. Much more fun to be around. My son is in his teenage years. I feel that I'm more present for this important stage of his life. I've reconnected with some older friends of mine and passions. I feel empowered. I still have ups and downs. I want to help others. In 2019, I started a group for men living with obesity, and shortly after, a men's walk and talk group where I live. I find this really fulfilling. I feel we all need to try and help each other. It's part of being human. Something I dreamed of doing for many years but felt would be impossible was to join the Rural Fire Service. I felt ashamed that I couldn't contribute to the safety of my community because of my size and how I felt about myself. I'm happy to say I've successfully completed the bush firefighter training. I'm now a brand new member of the RFS. I'm living a much bigger life. We all deserve to. Thank you for listening to my story.